What is going on, guys? Quality XA here today, and today I'm bringing you guys a brand new Sea of Thieves video. So we have the brand new 1.0.8 patch notes, so let's get right into this. So first off, we have the download installation size, which is going to be 800 megabytes from the Xbox One all the way to the Windows 10 and Xbox One X, so pretty decent indeed. Moving on now to the updates. So on the next, players can now discard unwanted voyages within the quick menu, no more having to propose them on the captain's table and then cancel them. We also have Did You Hear That? When you are transmitting a voice over mic, an icon will now appear on your screen to let you know you are doing so. Stories Untold, players will now come across more lore books on their adventures. Give and Take, resource crates which are being held by players can now have items put in or removed from them. Distressed Chickens, the unsettling sound of squawking chickens whilst caged is now more bearable. Music of Legends, the musical sting that plays when entering the legendary hideout has been updated. Updated voice lines, legendary tavern keeper Louise, the pirate lord and Order of Souls NPC Olivia now have new ghostly sounding voice lines. New visual effects, so improved multiple VFX of weapon impact to grass terrain and cannon impact into water. Icons, updated the chest UI to make it clearer that players can scroll through the filter tabs. Icons are now also prettier, bigger and generally better. Out of stock, so shipwrights and weaponsmiths will no longer stock the 8 cosmetic pieces which weren't visually distinct enough, and the launch crew Eye of Reach has now finished. They did actually keep it for an extra week, which I didn't realise, but was a pretty nice looking sniper rifle. So some very good changes there. I'm really happy about that you can actually discard the unwanted voyages now within the quick menu. Definitely a change that has been needed. Moving on now to the player settings, we have colorblind accessibility. So there is now a high contrast X marks the spot option in the accessibility settings. Enabling this will change the red X on the map to white with a black outline, which we understand will be easier to view for red-green colorblind pirates. Also aim sensitivity slider, so players can customize their controller and mouse sensitivity specifically when aiming with each ranged weapon. The blunderbuss, flintlock pistol and Eye of Reach each have their own slider to adjust. And additional muting options has now been added to My Crew. These now include the ability to mute voice, text chat and non-verbal phrases separately. Very nice indeed. I really like the fact that they've actually made it so you can change the colour of the X marks the spot. Definitely a good step in the right direction, because I definitely do find it hard to find them red X's sometimes. Moving on now to the performance improvements, we have whilst on a ship and in multi-ship scenarios, performance have been improved. Server optimization to reduce latency. Frame rates while streaming islands have been improved. Improved gunplay in higher latency network conditions. Multiple server and client crash fixes. And then last but not least, we have the fixed issues. So issues with giving items have been resolved and feature is now re-enabled. Skeleton fort keys will no longer drop in inaccessible locations. Dates displayed on pocket watches will no longer go out of sync. Fixed areas on Smuggler's Bay and Plunder Valley where bounty skeletons were not spawning. Pirates should no longer lose their clothing upon respawning after death. Changing your bucket or equipment chest will make the water spill out instead of just vanishing, so be careful not to flood your ship. Players should no longer encounter an issue where they are unable to interact with reward items floating in the water once they leave an area and return. Barrels of Plenty no longer disappear when respawning onto your ship after death. Improved skeleton movement in skeleton forts. Instruments will no longer sound muffled or cut out when being played on the back of a sloop. Opening the vanity chest multiple times in a short span will no longer cause your pirate preview to stop appearing. It is now possible to loot all items in skeleton fort vaults. The prompt to talk to Merchant Alliance NPC on Sanctuary Outpost is no longer missing her name. Chicken movement should no longer appear jittery. Pirate Legend Band in the hideout now play audible shanties. The legendary tavern keeper was loading the wrong text loadout. The correct text loadout has now rebound to the NPC. Players will no longer incorrectly hear ambient sounds, storms, rain or birds after using a mermaid, exiting the ferry or being teleported after being struck. So again, some really good fixes there. I'm pretty pleased with some of the updates and stuff that they are coming out with. But pure and simple, I am really excited with the first update DLC, I want to call it, that we are getting. It's going to be really exciting and definitely something that I'm looking out for, because I will be playing the absolute hell out of it, and I have been enjoying Sea of Thieves as of late. There was also the developer update video, some of the stuff to round up. They did have the Pioneer testing coming back soon. Cheaters will also be banned soon apparently, and as well as that, the Hungering Deep will include a bunch of new features, as they said, and that is quote for quote. So some really awesome stuff to look forward to. Let me know if you guys are going to be playing the Hungering Deep update when it first arrives, but as always, peace out, and I hope you enjoyed.